The reality most men ignore: everyone wants to feel powerful. Everyone wants to feel respected. Everyone wants to walk through life with certainty, confidence, and purpose. But very few ever achieve it because most people don't want the truth. They want comfort dressed as motivation. They want soft lies instead of hard realities. But the top G mindset is built on reality alone. You cannot build strength on illusions. You cannot build discipline on convenience. You cannot build purpose on comfort. A man becomes a top G the moment he decides that he will no longer be controlled by excuses, emotions, or the softness of the world around him. The moment he decides that he will rise, not because it's easy, but because greatness is the only acceptable outcome for his life. And that begins with understanding who you are and what you must become. Life respects power, not potential. Most men think potential means something. It does not. Potential is a polite way of saying you could have been something, but you chose not to. Life does not reward you for who you could be. It rewards you for who you force yourself to become. You can be intelligent, talented, creative, or gifted, but if you lack discipline, resilience, and relentless execution, the world will ignore you. Potential without discipline is wasted. Talent without consistency is invisible. Intention without action is meaningless. The top G mindset begins when you stop believing in potential as a comfort blanket and start treating it as a responsibility. You are responsible for turning your potential into power. You are responsible for turning ideas into results. You are responsible for turning goals into achievements. No one will do it for you, and no one will feel sorry for you when you fail to do it yourself. Discipline is the first form of respect. A man without discipline cannot respect himself, and a man who does not respect himself cannot demand respect from others. Most men live in a cycle of disappointment, not because life is unfair, but because they constantly betray themselves. They say they want success, but choose laziness. They say they want greatness, but choose comfort. They say they want confidence, but avoid the work that creates it. Discipline is the bridge between the man you are and the man you want to be. Discipline is the moment you stop negotiating with weakness. Discipline is the decision to do what must be done. Regardless of feelings, a disciplined man does not wait for motivation. He moves because movement is his identity. He executes because execution is his standard. When discipline becomes your foundation, success becomes predictable, not guaranteed. Nothing in life is guaranteed, but predictable because discipline removes inconsistency. And inconsistency is the number one killer of dreams. If you want a better life, start by building the discipline to deserve it. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Comfort has destroyed more dreams than failure ever has. Comfort convinces you that there is always more time. Comfort convinces you that mediocrity is acceptable. Comfort convinces you that distraction is harmless. Comfort is the silent enemy, the quiet killer of ambition. The top G mindset rejects comfort as a lifestyle. Comfort is a reward, not a habit. Comfort is earned, not lived in. Modern society wants men soft, passive, distracted, and dependent. Everything is designed to make life feel easy, but easy lives produce weak men. Weak men settle. Weak men complain. Weak men never build anything worth remembering. To become powerful, you must choose challenge over comfort. You must choose effort over excuses. You must choose difficulty over ease, because challenge is what sharpens you. Effort is what transforms you. Discomfort is what builds you. When you embrace discomfort, you unlock a version of yourself that most people will never meet. Pressure creates the elite. Pressure is not something to fear. Pressure is something to appreciate. Pressure reveals who you truly are. Pressure exposes your limits and gives you the opportunity to break them. Pressure is the environment where strong men rise. The top G mindset welcomes pressure because pressure builds power. Think of athletes, warriors, founders, leaders. They all share one thing. They were forged in environments where quitting was easy, but rising was necessary. Pressure is not your enemy. Your avoidance of pressure is the enemy. You need situations where people depend on you. You need situations where you cannot afford to be weak. You need situations where your back is against the wall, because that is when you learn what you are truly capable of. A man who runs from pressure will never become exceptional. A man who embraces pressure becomes unstoppable. Emotional control is the ultimate advantage. Most men let emotions control their lives. They quit when they feel tired. They hide when they feel insecure. They lash out when they feel threatened. They freeze when they feel overwhelmed. This is why most men never build power. They are slaves to their impulses. A top G is emotionally disciplined. He feels everything, but he obeys nothing except his principles. When fear shows up, he acts anyway. When doubt whispers, he moves regardless. When fatigue hits, he finds strength and commitment. When stress builds, he remains strategic, not reactive. Emotional control is not about suppressing emotions. It is about mastering them. Your emotions can exist, but they cannot lead. Your emotions can speak, but they cannot decide. The world respects calm power. A man who controls himself cannot be controlled by anyone else. You must become a man of standards. Standards are what separate the great from the average. Without standards, life becomes blurry, chaotic, and directionless. Your standards determine how you treat your health, how you treat your time, how you treat your body, how you treat your goals, how you treat your relationships, how you treat your excuses when you tolerate laziness. You become lazy. When you tolerate excuses, you become unreliable. When you tolerate weakness, you become weaker. The top G mindset demands high standards, not from the world, but from yourself. You must set standards that scare you, standards that force you to rise, standards that separate you from the average men around you. And once those standards are set, you never lower them. You enforce them until they become your identity, because your standards define your future long before your decisions do. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. You can be disciplined. You can be intelligent. You can be driven. But if you surround yourself with the wrong people, your environment will slowly destroy the man you are trying to become. Weak people normalize weak habits. Lazy people normalize lazy decisions. Distracted people normalize distracted minds. Negative people normalize excuses. The top G mindset requires you to build an environment that elevates you. Surround yourself with men who push you, men who expect excellence from you, men who speak about discipline, ambition, and achievement. Men who make you feel guilty for settling. If your circle doesn't inspire you, your circle is costing you. The people around you should be a preview of who you are becoming. If that thought scares you, change your environment, because you will never outgrow the standards of the people you allow into your life. A man without purpose is a man without power. One of the greatest weaknesses in modern society is that most men have no purpose. They wake up with no mission, no drive, no structure, no internal fire pushing them forward. They spend their lives drifting through distractions instead of anchoring themselves to a vision. A man without purpose becomes a slave to pleasure. A man without purpose becomes easily manipulated. A man without purpose becomes restless, anxious, unfocused, and unfulfilled. This is why you see so many men addicted to entertainment, cheap stimulation, and meaningless habits. Their minds are starving for direction, so they fill the emptiness with short-term pleasure. But the top G mindset rejects this emptiness. A top G understands that purpose does not fall into your lap. Purpose is designed, constructed with intention, and built with discipline. Purpose answers the most important questions of your life. What am I here to do? Who am I meant to become? What strengths must I sharpen? What weaknesses must I eliminate? What legacy am I creating? Your purpose must be bigger than pleasure. Your purpose must be bigger than fear. Your purpose must be bigger than comfort. When you have a purpose, you stop drifting. When you have a purpose, you stop wasting time. When you have a purpose, you stop entertaining nonsense. Purpose turns a man into a force, and a man with purpose is the most powerful version of himself. Self-respect is built through struggle. You cannot respect yourself if you avoid difficulty. You cannot respect yourself if you run from responsibility. You cannot respect yourself if you constantly break your own promises. Self-respect is not something you can buy. It is something you earn through demonstrated discipline. Every time you discipline yourself, you create a stronger identity. Every time you face discomfort, you build inner trust. Every time you overcome a challenge, you prove to yourself that you are capable. This is why struggle is essential. Struggle is not punishment. Struggle is training. Struggle shapes you into someone you admire. Struggle sharpens you into someone you believe in. A man who has never struggled cannot be confident. He may pretend to be confident, but deep down, he knows the truth. He has never truly tested himself. Confidence comes from witnessing your own growth, not imagining it. Confidence comes from seeing yourself do the difficult things you once feared. Confidence comes from taking action when your emotions try to stop you. The more you struggle, the more you evolve. The more you evolve, the more you respect yourself. And the more you respect yourself, the more you respect yourself, the more the world respects you. You must master your time, or your time will master. Time is the most valuable resource you have. Not money, not attention, not energy. It is time. And yet, time is the resource people waste the most. They waste it on meaningless entertainment. They waste it on conversations with low-value people. They waste it on habits that produce nothing. They waste it on excuses that change nothing. A man becomes a top G when he learns to treat time as currency. Your hours are investments. Your minutes are opportunities. Your days are the foundation of your future. If you want a powerful life, audit your time with brutal honesty. Ask yourself, how much time do I waste every day on pointless distractions? How much time do I invest in my goals? How much time do I give to improving my health, wealth, and mind? How much time do I give to people who contribute nothing to my future? This truth is simple. If you do not use your time with intention, someone else will use it for you. You must build a schedule that aligns with your future. You must prioritize tasks that build your value. You must eliminate time wasters that drain your drive. Your time must reflect your ambition. Your time must reflect your standards. Your time must reflect the man you are becoming. When you master your time, you master your life. Physical discipline is mental dominance. Your body and mind are connected. If your body is weak, your mind becomes weaker. If your body is disciplined, your mind becomes sharper. This is why physical training is essential. Working out is not about vanity. It is about control. It is about resilience. It is about building a body that can support the weight of a disciplined mind. When you train consistently, you learn how to push through discomfort, how to build habits, how to resist temptation, how to stay consistent, how to suffer temporarily for long-term gain. Every workout trains your mind to obey your goals instead of your feelings. Every rep is a battle between who you are and who you want to be. Every session is a message to your subconscious. I keep my promises. I do what I say. I follow through. This internal message changes everything. Because once your mind believes you cannot be stopped, the world begins to respond to you differently. People sense confidence. People feel discipline. People respect self-control. Physical discipline is not optional. It is a foundation for a powerful life. If you want mental strength, build physical strength. If you want clarity, build discipline. If you want respect, build consistency. Your physical body is the engine of your mindset. Sharpen it. A man is defined by how he acts. When no one is watching, anyone can pretend to be disciplined when people are looking. Anyone can talk about goals on social media. Anyone can act focused when the world is watching. But the top G mindset begins when no one sees you. It begins when there is no applause, no validation, no audience, no praise. What you do alone is who you really are. When the alarm rings and no one is watching, do you get up? When the gym feels impossible, do you go anyway? When the work becomes boring, do you complete it? When you feel tired, do you push through? Your private habits shape your public identity. Your private discipline shapes your public power. Your private struggles shape your public success. If you only work hard when others are looking, you are not disciplined. You are performing. A top G's discipline is personal. It is internal. It is rooted in identity, not external validation. He does the work because doing the work is who he is. If you want to become powerful, become disciplined in silence. Build yourself when no one notices. Sharpen yourself when no one applauds. When you show up publicly, the results will speak for you. Your habits are making or breaking you. A man does not rise to the level of his goals. He falls to the level of his habits. Your habits create your future long before your decisions do. Your habits decide. Your energy, your confidence, your opportunities, your resilience, your relationships, your identity. Success is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built in the repetitive actions you take every day. If your habits are weak, your future will be weak. If your habits are strong, your future will be strong. A top G audits his habits ruthlessly. What helps him? What hurts him? What builds him? What slows him? What habits must die? What habits must be created? This level of self-honesty is uncomfortable, which is why most men avoid it. But the life you want is hiding behind the habits you refuse to change. Every habit you improve moves you one step closer to power. Every habit you ignore moves you one step deeper into mediocrity. Your habits are either weapons or weaknesses. Choose wisely. Excuses destroy your future. Excuses are the language of mediocrity. They protect your comfort zone at the cost of your potential. Every time you justify weakness, you lose strength. Every time you rationalize laziness, you lose progress. Every time you blame something external, you lose control. Excuses create the illusion of logic, but produce nothing in reality. I'm tired. I'm stressed. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. I'll do it tomorrow. These are the lies men tell themselves to avoid the truth. They are scared of effort. They are scared of failure. They are scared of discipline. They are scared of becoming powerful because becoming powerful requires sacrifice. And most men are not ready to pay the price. Top Gs do not make excuses. They make adjustments. They make solutions. They make progress. You can be a man of results or a man of excuses, but you cannot be both. Most men never change because they fear themselves. People think men fear failure. They don't. They fear responsibility. They fear accountability. They fear sacrifice. But above all, they fear meeting the version of themselves they could be. Because once you see who you can become, staying the same becomes painful. Your excuses no longer feel convincing. Your laziness no longer feels harmless. Your comfort no longer feels comfortable. Most men avoid growth because growth demands honesty. And honesty is brutal. Honesty forces you to admit you waste time, you lack discipline, you avoid discomfort, you settle for less, you have more potential than your actions show. This truth can be painful, but this truth is also the beginning of transformation. You cannot become a powerful man while lying to yourself. The Top G mindset begins with truth, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. If you want to rise, stop avoiding yourself. Look in the mirror and acknowledge the gap between who you are and who you must become. That gap is your mission. Hard work only matters when it's consistent. Everyone works hard. Sometimes everyone has moments of motivation. Everyone has bursts of productivity, but a Top G is not defined by occasional effort. He is defined by consistent execution. Hard work without consistency is a trap. You work intensely for one day, feel proud, and then relax for 5. You push yourself once and mistake it for progress. You confuse effort with consistency, and then you wonder why nothing changes. Consistency is the multiplier of discipline. Consistency is the engine of momentum. Consistency is the reason small habits become unstoppable power. A man who works moderately hard every day will outperform a man who works extremely hard once in a while. Your strength is not built in one big moment. Your success is not built in one big decision. Your reputation is not built in one big achievement. It's built in the repetition. It's built in the silent hours. It's built in the boring days. It's built in the moments when you didn't feel like it and did it anyway. If you learn consistency, you can build anything. If you lack consistency, you will lose everything. You must kill the weak voice in your mind. Every man has 2 voices inside him. The weak voice, the disciplined voice, the weak voice whispers, "Not today. You're tired. You deserve a break. This is too difficult. You can do it later." This voice has destroyed more lives than any external enemy ever could. It speaks softly but consistently. It feels comforting but is actually corrosive. It disguises itself as logic, but it is pure sabotage. The disciplined voice says, "Get up, move, do what must be done, stay focused. Your feelings are irrelevant." The disciplined voice is quiet at first. You must strengthen it through repetition. Every time you obey it, it grows. Every time you obey the weak voice, it dies. A Top G has trained his disciplined voice so intensely that the weak voice no longer has authority. Weakness becomes unacceptable. Excuses become embarrassing. Distraction becomes disrespectful. Your mission is simple. When the weak voice speaks, you move anyway. Action kills weakness. Action kills fear. Action kills doubt. Move first. Think later. That is how you train mental dominance. You owe it to your future self to be stronger. Imagine a version of yourself 5 years from now. That version of you either succeeded, failed, grew stagnated, evolved, or wasted time. And every choice you make today determines which version you become. Every workout, every hour spent on your craft, every book you read, every distraction you resist, every moment you act instead of hesitate. Your future self is watching you. He is counting on you. He is depending on your discipline. Your future self will either thank you or resent you. The man you become is shaped by the man you are today. Your decisions echo forward into your future. So ask yourself, what habits are you building for him? What sacrifices are you making for him? What discipline are you giving him? What strength are you setting him? A Top G thinks long-term. He invests in the future version of himself with every action. He does the work today to give his future self options, power, and freedom. If you want a powerful tomorrow, build a powerful today. You must operate with intention, not impulse. The average man moves through life reacting. He reacts to his emotions. He reacts to his environment. He reacts to other people. He reacts to fear, stress, and insecurity. He runs on impulse, not intention. A Top G is intentional. His actions are driven by purpose, not emotion. His decisions are based on strategy, not impulses. His time is spent on objectives, not on distractions. Intentional men build empires. Reactive men build excuses. Everything you do must have a reason behind it. You must know why you work, why you train, why you wake up early, why you eliminate distractions, why you refuse weakness, why you set high standards. When your actions align with intention, your life stops feeling chaotic. You gain clarity, you gain direction, you gain momentum, you gain control. Your impulse wants comfort now. Your intention wants success later. Choose intention, control your environment, or your environment will control you. Your environment is constantly shaping you. The people you see, the conversations you hear, the habits you watch, the standards around you, the expectations placed on you. If you surround yourself with average, you become average. If you surround yourself with discipline, you rise. If your environment is chaotic, you become chaotic. If your environment is focused, you become focused. Top G's design their environment for growth. They remove temptations. They remove negative influences. They remove distractions. They remove people who drain ambition. They remove habits that slow them down. And in their place, they build systems, training routines, learning patterns, work structures, financial discipline, strategic habits, circles of high-value men. You must protect your environment the same way you protect your goals. A man's identity is shaped by repetition and proximity. What you repeatedly see becomes what you believe is normal. And what you believe is normal becomes what you accept. Raise your environment, and your life will rise with it. The world respects results, not complaints, no matter how difficult life becomes, no matter how unfair things seem, no matter how much pressure you face. The world does not reward complaints. It does not reward excuses. It does not reward weakness. The world rewards men who adapt and overcome. A top G understands a simple truth. You cannot control everything, but you can control your response to everything. Your mindset determines your outcome. Your attitude determines your altitude. Your resilience determines your results. Complaining does nothing. Growth does everything. Action changes everything. Stop asking the world to be easier. Become stronger. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Create them. The world respects men who win despite their challenges, not because they had none. Confidence is built, not born. Confidence is not something you are magically given at birth. Confidence is something you construct through action. You become confident when you keep promises to yourself. You become confident when you show up day after day. You become confident when you face what you fear. You become confident when you transform effort into results. Fake confidence is loud. True confidence is silent. It comes from experience, discipline, and consistency. A disciplined man does not need to pretend he is confident. He knows he is. Because he has evidence, he has receipts, he has a track record of doing difficult things. When you build confidence through discipline, you become unstoppable, not because you feel powerful, but because, you are capable. Confidence built through action is the strongest armor. A man can wear your word must become law. A powerful man keeps his word, especially to himself. Most men break promises to themselves so often that their subconscious no longer believes anything they say. They say they will wake up early, and they don't. They say they will work out, and they don't. They say they will focus, and they don't. This destroys self-trust, and a man with no self-trust cannot build a powerful life. A top G treats his words like commitments. When he says he will do something, he follows through, not because it's easy, not because he feels like it, but because his identity depends on it. If you want real power, make your word unbreakable. Set fewer promises and keep every single one. Let your actions prove your discipline. When your word becomes law, your confidence grows. Your discipline grows. Your reputation grows. Your influence grows. Your life changes the moment you stop lying to yourself. Greatness requires sacrifice. You cannot become exceptional while living like everyone else. Greatness comes with a price, and every man must decide whether he is willing to pay it. You sacrifice comfort for discipline. You sacrifice laziness for momentum. You sacrifice distraction for focus. You sacrifice temporary pleasure for long-term purpose. The average man wants success without sacrifice. He wants the results without the responsibility. He wants the rewards without the discipline. This mindset guarantees failure. A top G understands that sacrifice is the gateway to elevation. He accepts the price willingly. He embraces the discomfort. He trains his mind to recognize sacrifice as a privilege. Every time you repeat the phrase, "Not today," you are choosing mediocrity. Every time you choose comfort instead of challenge, you move further from greatness. The question is not, what do I want? The question is, what am I willing to sacrifice to get it? Your sacrifices are your investment in your future self. Pay the price now. Live a life of power later. Build skills, not excuses in a world full of distracted men. Skill is the ultimate advantage. Skill creates opportunity. Skill creates freedom. Skill creates wealth. Skill creates respect. But most men never develop high-level skills because skills require patience, repetition, and long-term commitment. 3 things the average man avoids at all costs. A top G becomes valuable by continuously upgrading himself. He sharpens his craft. He learns new abilities. He adapts to new environments. He invests in knowledge. He embraces mastery. There is no such thing as wasted skill. Every new ability enhances your value. Every new skill increases your leverage. Every new area of expertise expands your influence. The world pays for competence, not excuses. You must be the man who can solve problems, not the man who creates them. Become useful, become capable, become skilled in ways others are not. Skill is power, and power is earned. Become independent in mind and spirit. The most dangerous man in the world is the man who cannot be controlled. Not by society, not by peer pressure, not by trends, not by temptation, not by weakness, not even by his own emotions. True independence begins in the mind. A top G thinks for himself. He questions everything. He does not follow crowds. He does not copy the weak behaviors of the masses. He does not absorb the fears, limitations, or insecurities of society. He develops his own perspective, his own values, his own standards, his own principles. When your mind is independent, your life becomes powerful. You stop seeking approval. You stop needing validation. You stop bending under pressure. You stop caring about the opinions of the weak. You build your life based on strength, not acceptance. Freedom begins with mental independence. The world cannot control a man who controls himself. Never let complacency enter your life. The most dangerous moment in a man's journey is not when he struggles. It is when he starts to succeed. Success weakens average men. Comfort invites stagnation. Stagnation kills ambition. Most men slow down the moment. They achieve something, they hit one goal and start celebrating. They accomplish a small success and lose their hunger. They allow comfort to replace discipline. A top G treats success as the starting point, not the finish line. The moment he hits a goal, he sets the next one. The moment he becomes strong, he becomes stronger. The moment he builds momentum, he increases his speed. The moment he achieves progress, he raises his standards. Complacency is the silent assassin of greatness. The day you become comfortable is the day you stop growing. Celebrate nothing for too long. Stay hungry, stay focused, stay relentless. The journey never ends because you never stop climbing. Your energy must be protected. Your energy is one of the most valuable assets you possess. Everything in your life, your goals, your mindset, your habits, your relationships, depends on the quality of your energy. But most men allow their energy to be drained by negative people, toxic environments, unnecessary arguments, endless entertainment, mindless scrolling, useless conversations, emotional chaos, unhealthy habits. Your energy determines your productivity. Your energy determines your confidence. Your energy determines your ambition. Your energy determines your ability to execute. A top G protects his energy ruthlessly. He prioritizes people who uplift him. He removes those who drain him. He avoids environments that create weakness. He builds habits that empower him. He eliminates distractions that drain mental strength. Your future requires energy. Your vision requires energy. Your discipline requires energy. Protect your energy and you protect your potential. Become a man of value, not a man of noise. Most men try to be noticed instead of becoming valuable. They chase attention before achievement. They chase validation before discipline. They chase recognition before competence. This is why they fail. A top G does not chase attention. He attracts it by becoming valuable. Value comes from discipline, intelligence, skill, confidence, strength, purpose, reliability, results. If you focus on becoming valuable, the world cannot ignore you. Opportunities appear. People admire you. Doors open. Respect follows. Stop talking about what you will do. Stop announcing goals you never achieve. Stop trying to impress people with words. Let your actions speak. Let your results speak. Let your discipline speak. Quiet men with strong results outshine loud men with nothing to show. Become the man worth noticing, not the man begging to be seen. You must create a legacy worth remembering. The top G mindset is not about temporary success. It is about building a legacy, something that continues long after you are gone. Your legacy is built through your discipline, your strength, your decisions, your reputation, your standards, your habits, your achievements, your impact on others. Most men never think about legacy because they struggle to think about tomorrow. They live for the moment, not the mission. They live for pleasure, not purpose. They live for comfort, not contribution. But a powerful man thinks generationally. He thinks about the lives he will influence. He thinks about the example he will leave behind. He thinks about the strength he will pass forward. When you live with legacy in mind, your actions become sharper. Your discipline becomes stronger. Your decisions become wiser. Your purpose becomes intense. Your focus becomes unstoppable. A top G does not live for the day. He lives for the decades. He builds a name that carries weight. He builds a life that commands respect. He builds a legacy that endures. The final truth: power is built through decisions. Everything you want: discipline, respect, confidence, success, strength, money, legacy, begins with one thing: decision. You must decide to rise, decide to change, decide to commit, decide to act, decide to evolve, decide to stop being average, decide to eliminate weakness, decide to dominate your own life. Your circumstances do not define you. Your upbringing does not define you. Your failures do not define you. Your feelings do not define you. Your decisions define you. The moment you decide to become powerful, everything changes. Your habits change, your actions change, your energy changes, your environment changes, your standards change, your entire identity changes. This is the essence of the top G mindset. Power is not found. Power is created. Power is built. Power is built. Power is earned. Power is decided. And you must decide it every day. Become the man you are meant to be. You have one life, one chance, one opportunity to rise, one destiny to fulfill. Do not waste it being average. Do not waste it chasing pleasure. Do not waste it hiding from discomfort. Do not waste it waiting for the perfect moment. Do not waste it pretending tomorrow is guaranteed. Become disciplined. Become focused. Become intentional. Become resilient. Become dangerous in a world full of softness. Become a man of standards, direction, and power. Become the example others look up to. Become the leader of your own life. Become a man whose presence commands respect. Become the strongest, smartest, most capable version of yourself. Become a top G, not because the world told you to, but because you decided that mediocrity will never define your life. The path is difficult. The pressure is real. The sacrifices are uncomfortable. The journey is long, but the reward is everything. A life of power, a life of purpose, a life of respect, a life of legacy, a life worth living. Your future is waiting. Rise and take it.